Happy hump day, boys and girls. It is another live edition of the Highbury Squad. Your next stop is right here. Are you ready for a little ex-Arsenal player talk and so much more? Here we go. Hallelujah.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. And guess what? Tonight, this is it. Moi, flying solo. Squaddies, welcome. Addies, taking Kev's job for the evening. Hope you're well. Hope everyone is having a happy hump day, no matter where in the world you might be. Remember to let me know. If you're wondering what that thing is behind me, it's actually my champagne blow up that Tony got me for my birthday, which, by the way, is still alive. Look at this thing. Best investment she ever made. And for some reason, I cannot get rid of it. So there it is. It's behind me, just in case you were wondering. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're well. I got a bit of a migraine, to be honest with you. Little tiny piece of a migraine. So I've got some tea going right here in my Harrods mug. Love a bit of Harrods. Love a bit of tea. I even put sugar in it today. Terrible. I never have sugar. I'm not a sugar person, although I may be sweet. That sounded really wanky. But I was trying to be a wanker, let's be honest. I don't like sugar at all, and I am having sugar in my tea. That's how bad my headache is. But I am here because I needed you, and maybe you needed me. Han Solo Soph. I like that, Matty K. Let me go all the way up to the top and greet the first 100 folks in chat. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm not sure if you're going to like me by the end of this show, but I think you will, because you know me, I'm always honest. Craig, Ola, Glorious Guamaca. Let's be honest, Snipes. Yeah, we'll get to that. Welcome, Glorious. Hello, Ask. Hello, Soph. Hello, me. Hello, Pap. Ask. Martin. If I'm doubling up on these, Tammy's back. Matty K's here, as we know. Mark is here. Evening peeps. Great Gooner. Ola. Is he speaking facts? Okay, fine. We'll get to that eventually. Everyone greeting each other. This is one of my favorite things about the show, is how you've all become mates and that you all enjoy each other and look out for each other and say hello. Yes, we'll get to that, Martin. If you're doing a job for Taib, if he's not here, you know what I'm saying. Sophie time. Not yet. We just got started. We're only 3 minutes in. I just wanted to greet everybody and say, oh, thank you. I just got my old sweatshirt on today. I couldn't, honestly. You know, we're all honest on this show, right? I just had I'm having one of those days where I just want to be in my tracksuit. You know, got a really terrible migraine and I just want to wear my tracksuit and my beanie and lay like broccoli. But hey ho, that's how we roll here. Hi Shay, hi big guy. Hi Mo, hi Tommy. Hi everybody. Taib. Are you a mind reader, Taib? This is blowing my brain right now. We did a show last night. We recorded the first ever Get Off the Potsy. So you know how in the summer we announced the Fambassador series. So we've got a lot of key influencers from the Arsenal universe joining us on the show to do a variety of different shows and different content and stuff like that. And last night we did a Get Off the Potsy, and this is part of the subject. Are you Giroud's friend who had a premonition that told him not to join Everton? Because I'm going to get to that as well a little bit later. Thanks, Tommy. Doesn't feel like night. We usually go out at 8 p.m. Every now and again we'll do a 9, but 8 p.m. is our slot. Thank you for everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. Should we get down to business? Let me just see. What else? Thanks, Soph. I'm okay. Just a bad headache, you know, one of those. Coffee time. For me, it's tea time. Yeah. What's ripped? My sweatshirt? Or my abs? I'd like to buy some abs. Can you get that on eBay? I'd like some abs. I'd like to buy some abs. How about that? Right, let's talk business, shall we? First things first. I have an announcement to make, which I know you guys love. It's slow today, you know. Kev sends his love. He'll be back tomorrow with Josh for the tactical squad before Palace. I'm also going to have a bonus episode with you on over the weekend. We're going to have one of our favourites, Jim Piddock, join us. Actor, comedian. If you've seen all of the David Guest movies, best in show for your consideration. He's also been in a great number of HBO and Showtime series as well. He's ingrained in Palace. He's going to give us a little bit of intel on Patrick Vieira and stuff like that. So a bit of Sunday afternoon tea for me and Sunday evening for you. We'll have Jim on. I am going to be back in England in November, and I would love to meet all of you. I don't know how we can organise it, but we're going to, okay? I'm going to be going to a couple of home games. I'm also going to be going to Manchester United and Liverpool away. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it, you know. So maybe we can do a little bit of a meet and greet at the pub, or if you're going to the game, you let me know. We'll organise it closer to the time. So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I also wanted to say that tomorrow night are the Football Content Awards. Vesper's getting excited about it. I'm wishing luck to my boys, Tom from the Gooner Talk TV, Mike from the Gooners podcast, and I believe our good friend Elliot of the show too, and Arsenal Vision have a nomination too. So be sure to say your prayers Olivier Giroud style for the boys who are representing our beautiful club for the Football Content Awards tomorrow night. So that is something that you guys need to be sure that you keep your eye out and that you're watching. Where are you, Soph? We'll meet. We will meet. So yes, I know I did say wanky at the beginning of the show, probably going to get in trouble for it. So yes, let's do it. I'm going to do it. We're going to organize it. I will definitely be back in Palmer's Green, aka Palmer's Greek, because I've got tons of family there. So I'll be hanging out the occasional half on Green Lanes at some point. Don't be jealous, Cliff. You can live vicariously through me. All right. So yes. Why don't we start talking football, shall we? Enough about that, enough about my trip. I'm going to be letting you know about it. But we're going to be doing live shows from England. It's going to be epic. There's going to be more to come on that. But I will be going back home and I can't wait for it. Me and Kev together doing a show. There'll be more announcements to come. So I'm really excited about it and I can't wait. We also have our shop window up. It's usually your next stop is Highbury Squad, but we do have our merchandise store up. And as you know, we give our proceeds to Gooners versus Cancer. We're also going to be giving our proceeds to MK's National Fallen Firefighter charity as well. This is just a little bit of a tease. So I'm going to share a little bit more about it with you when Kev's on Friday as well. And thanks to our good friend No Laguna, Stephen Feely, who has done a tremendous job helping us with that in his own time. Right. Oh my gosh. I've seen Debbie Does Dallas, Martin. I've seen that show. All right, let's talk football, shall we? Thierry Henry has made some comments about Mikel Arteta, and as has Olivier Giroud made some comments about Arsenal. And it got me thinking about ex-players and how they talk about our club. Good, bad, or ugly? Listen, everybody is entitled to an opinion, right? Without opinions, none of our podcasts would exist. We wouldn't have shows. And I think everyone is entitled to their opinion, whether you're Sol Campbell, Martin Keown, Kevin Campbell, Thierry Henry, Mesut Ozil. You can have opinions. It's how you project them, what you say, how you say it. And I know that this could be the death of me. I don't know, but I love Thierry Henry. I think Thierry Henry is one of the, if not, well, he's the second greatest player for me. And you'll see when we do the show with Dan Potts. For me, Dennis Bergkamp is the man. Always has been, always will be. But Thierry Henry is an absolute legend. But can we talk about this and take the legendary bit out, extract it if you can for just a second so we can have an honest and open discussion about his comments? I will bring you back some cheese and onion crisps. No worries. Peckham. You know what? I love a bit of South London. I've got some good friends in South London. Oh no, Brady's banana has flu. I'm glad you're in bed listening to me. I hope we do cheer you up this evening. I do believe that he was expressing what many people feel. Yes, we're unsure, but just give me a moment to express kind of my take on it, right? So I actually expect a little bit more from Thierry Henry. Now, he's an absolute legend. What he's done for the Arsenal is incredible. An insane player. Nothing like, I mean, the Premier League has never seen anything like it. He's probably the best player that's ever played in the Premier League alongside Dennis Bergkamp. I don't think he gets enough respect on the international stage. I don't think he gets enough respect in the sense that when you're talking about some of the greatest players of all time, considering the trophies he's won with France as well, that he's ever in the conversation when it comes to the best ever. He does know his legendary status, and please take this in the manner in which I'm expressing it. He's a bit cocky with that too. He knows he can say things and he can get away with them. And I'm not disagreeing with what he said about Mikel Arteta. I think we all agree that the jury is still out. When a legendary player of his status comes out with this comment at this time when he's promoting a brand that he works for, the timing of it for me is a little off, considering the positivity that has happened. And you guys know I'm not a Mikel fan. I'm not defending Mikel Arteta at all. I'm defending my club, right? So the timing of it during the international break, considering the points that we've garnered, the fact that we've been able to climb up the table, 0 points to start off with from 3 games, no goals scored. It's been horrific. And yes, we beat Norwich, we've beat some lowly teams, and we struggled to walk away with a point against Brighton. But it's so funny that now all of a sudden we smashed Spurs and they were weak, they were rubbish, you know, they're on the downturn. I don't care whether you're in the second division or the Premier League. When you play your rival and you beat them, it's a glorious thing. So I do think there's a cockiness to Thierry Henry when he knows that he's untouchable when it comes to the Arsenal, right? So I'm going to get all your comments up, by the way, because I know you're flying in. Thanks to all 200 people who've tuned in live so far. The other thing, too, is once you label someone a king, they start to act like one. We've got to be very careful in sports, right? Because we have heroes and we anoint them. And sometimes, for me, I think, and I know it's totally different. I would anoint all of the caregivers that have helped us through this incredibly difficult period of our lives. I would anoint someone like Jessica, who is an Arsenal fan and works with children who are terminal with cancer. Like, to me, that's a hero. That's someone, but I know that life doesn't work that way, guys, right? So I get it. But once you call someone a king, it gives them a pedestal, and therefore perhaps they feel like they can say and do anything. And again, the caveat to that is I don't disagree with what Thierry said. I mean, look at LeBron James, for example. His Instagram is King James. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's an incredible talent. But when you see people responding to his posts and stuff and they say, yes, king, you're the king, bow to the king. He's an athlete who is amazing, who has done incredible things, not only on the court, but off the court as well. Arnold Palmer was called king way before LeBron and way before Thierry Henry in golf. And an incredible man who's done sensational things, did sensational things in his life through his foundation, helped people using their platform in a positive way. And sometimes, you know, to be honest with you, LeBron James doesn't get the credit that he deserves for all that he does off the court. He's a bit polarizing and I don't get it. I don't understand why. Well, I kind of do. But calling athletes kings, you walk into a slippery slope. And here's the thing, right? For example, I don't know if you know the story here of a coach called is it Rick Pitino, Tony? Penn State coach, his name. Pitino, the legendary coach at Penn State, who was put on this pedestal, right? And was given all this power and then just brushed certain things under the carpet. Totally different conversation, totally different situation. But I'm trying to show you that when you elevate people for playing a sport, they then have carte blanche maybe on their opinions and stuff like that. Right. Joe Paterno, thank you. Rick Pitino is the Louisville coach, right? Thanks. Yeah, no. I was thinking about Joe Paterno and Rick Pitino is the Louisville coach. Right. I got my names mixed up here. Now, the juxtaposition to this and where I'm trying to go with this, and just stay with me, right? Ian Wright is a legend of the Arsenal Football Club. Wasn't called a king, okay, but did just as many wonderful things for the club. And what I love about Ian Wright, and I think what we all love about Ian Wright, is what he's doing post-career as a Gooner. He goes to all the as many women's games as he can, okay? He supports the club as much as he can. He writes about the club, whether he's lauding Miedemar, whether he's hanging out with Maria and posing with one of the most legendary fans ever, who has her entire life spent going to academy games, women's games, men's games, given her life to the Arsenal, okay? Ian Wright, you feel a genuine love for the club from Ian Wright. And I'm not saying Thierry Henry doesn't love the Arsenal, but his love is different than Ian Wright's. I would even argue his love is a bit different than Tony Adams. And here's why. When you announce yourself as someone who is interested, or you are pictured with Daniel Ek watching a game, and you're sitting in the expensive seats, and you are part of a group that might be looking to take over the club, your comments come with a motive, okay? In my humble opinion, and this is my own opinion, I love Thierry Henry. Love him. Legend. Okay? But when you make the comments you do, and you are part of the Ek group, what has Daniel Ek promised you? If this takeover happens, listen, I know how this works in terms of entertainment, sports and stuff like that. When you're hanging out with the billionaire, you're not just hanging out with the billionaire. What is it that the billionaire has promised you? Has he promised you to be manager of Arsenal Football Club? Has he promised you to be director of football? Let's not be naive here. You don't put yourself out there and sit with who you consider to be the main man, who, by the way, has a smidgen of the money that the Cronkies have, but that's a whole other conversation. You got to ask yourself, why? Now, he's saying that Arteta, he feels like Arsenal aren't going in the right direction with Mikel Arteta. I am not an Arteta fan. You guys know this. The timing of what he's saying and what the timing is a bit off, considering we're on a bit of a run and we're hopefully going to continue that run when everyone comes back from the international break. But I just expect a little bit more of him to say this because I've seen him manage in MLS. He couldn't even get through the playoffs with his team. Okay? And he left his team. He walked out on them. So I would have appreciated more if Thierry Henry had said, listen, I know how hard coaching a football team is. I've had my chances and it hasn't gone as well. But that's where the cockiness comes in, right? He then says, I turn the TV off when Xhaka's captain. Okay, I'm sure Monaco fans turned the TV off when you were manager of Monaco. I'm sure fans at Montreal turned the TV off when you failed to make or progress in the MLS playoffs. MLS. I cover MLS here. I respect the game here. But of course, it's nowhere near the standard of the game in Europe. So I would have appreciated our legend, our guy, who I stood and cheered for, loved, still love, and will love until my last breath, to just say, listen, I'm not sure about the progress Arsenal are making under Mikel Arteta, but I know how hard it is to manage a football club and be a manager, and how difficult it is to do this job. Now, remember, he did it at Monaco and failed. He did it in MLS and failed. Mikel Arteta is doing it at the Arsenal in the Premier League, who everybody says is the toughest league in the world to succeed in. So I'm just saying that shots fired, fine. What you're saying, I agree about your comments about Brighton and Norwich. I think your comments about the Tottenham game are a little bit cheap considering they're our rival and I don't care where you are in the world or what your form is. We beat them fair and square and we thrash them. So, knowing he's failed miserably as a manager so far, all I'm saying is talk about it, but give it some context. Give it some context. I am not an Arteta fan at all. And I will say that 4 or 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 100 times during this broadcast today. So when you are that big and you are that much of a legend, your words matter. They count. I'm a mere podcaster. I wasn't paid millions and millions of pounds by Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club do not feed me. They do not feed any podcaster in this universe. We pay to be part of the Arsenal. We pay to be part of our club. Our club has fed Thierry Henry. Now, maybe you think I'm being a bit hard on him and his comments. All I'm saying is that whether you like the Cronkies or not, whether you like Arteta or not, whether you think he's doing a good job or not, your responsibility as the king is to give your comments some context, considering you failed miserably as a manager. Tony Adams has failed as a manager. Patrick Vieira has failed as a manager. Mikel Arteta has been number 2 to Pep Guardiola. The jury's still out. As an assistant, he's been a success. So I just think that if you're going to fire shots against your old club and the current manager, I think that you should just give it some context, okay? There's 250 of you, and it's not dead. Why is it dead? The horse is dead. Move on. Move on to what? These are important things. And why stop with the failed miserably as a manager? That's irrelevant. He can have an opinion. Yes, of course he can. But he's not even done it at that level. He's not managed in the Premier League. He's an assistant to Roberto Martinez, who, by the way, failed. Their team failed, all right, and completely shit the bed, against France just a few days ago. So I'm just saying, give it some context. I don't expect anything from people like Olivier Giroud, who said it was harder to leave Chelsea than Arsenal. Really? You're talking about a guy who said that he didn't join Everton because his friend had a premonition about it. And then he talks about God and goes on and on about God, right? Meanwhile, in 2014, he was caught literally in his pants in a hotel room cheating on his wife. Come on. Really? Please. I don't expect Mesut Ozil to be waxing lyrical about the Arsenal. But I don't expect Mesut Ozil, who's a professional footballer, to be trolling Arsenal. Where is he now after our wins? Why hasn't he put our post out saying, I'm so happy to see Arsenal doing better? He was ready to kill us and troll our manager and troll the club when we were failing because he wanted us to fail. And all I'm saying is there's certain players that, yes, you can have an opinion, but when your opinion is talking about, in Thierry's instance, talking about the management skills of Arteta, I just think that you need to give it some context. That's all. Okay, I'm sure. What's the emotion? I'm perfectly fine. Not being emotional. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. I'm going to go all the way up to the top because I want to get your comments. All 300 of you in live chat right now. Bear with me because I am going to try and put up as many of your comments as I can. Sophie, you are mad annoying at times. Turn the TV off, mate. Don't listen. It's your choice. This is my show, and these are my opinions. If you don't like what I'm saying, turn your YouTube channel off now. Your choice. You don't have to listen to my crap if you think it's crap. Thanks, Gunner for Life. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dave. It's just his opinion, yes. Can you guys please separate the opinion, okay? Because I agree with what he said. What I'm saying is, as a failed manager so far in his career, he should give it some context and say, look, I've managed at Monaco and that was hard. I've managed in MLS and that was hard enough. Managing Arsenal is probably not hard, not easy. I know it's not because I've been a player at the club. It's a glorious club with history. And it's hard for Arteta, but I wonder if we're going in the right direction under him. And when he is connected to Daniel Ek and the people who are trying to take over the club, which, listen, I want a better owner. I want more investment in the club. I want that hugely. But it comes with a motive, doesn't it? We don't know that yet. Thank you, Universal Greek. It is uncomfortable. You know what? I got to say this. I'm not... Yeah, F. Giroud. I totally agree with that. Yeah, just cut. Done. He is the GOAT. He's 100% the GOAT. I'm going to try and go back and put as many of your comments up because I'm sure many of you just want to kill me right now and disagree with me. But I'm putting my neck out there, you guys, because this is Thierry Henry. I'm going right to the top. All right, you ready? You want to have an honest conversation? I don't blow sunshine up people's asses. If I did, I would be chairman and CEO of 20th Century Fox right now. I worked for Fox, I worked for Sony, I worked for MGM. I don't badmouth those companies. As much as I think that there were times where I deserved more at these companies, I was thankful. They put a roof over my head, they put food on my table, and I got to see the world because of working for companies like that. And you may not want to hear what I have to say, and if you disagree with me, I respect that completely. I really do. But I also think, like Mesut Ozil, for example, you've been the highest paid player at Arsenal Football Club for how many years? And you want to troll the club and give them shit? I understand you have issues and differences, but they fed you and they fed your family. And in turn, you were able to do amazing things with that money. You have been a phenomenal humanitarian helping kids. And because of your position at Arsenal Football Club, you were able to do that. Whether you agree or disagree with how you left or not, Arsenal Football Club gave you the platform and the opportunity to do that. The German national team did as well, of course. You being at Real Madrid, of course. But your major bread and butter was those years at the Arsenal. So sometimes I think, like, yes, you can have an opinion. Yes, you can say what you want. But also, how are you saying it? What are you saying? And what is your motive for it? Why are we mentioning other players when we're talking about the king? Because we're talking about the subject of the show. The subject of the show is how ex-players talk about the Arsenal. Kevin Campbell is not on this show today. And I'm kind of happy he's not, to be honest with you, because it gives me an opportunity to further my comment about Ian Wright. Kevin Campbell never wanted to leave Arsenal. Kevin Campbell wanted to play for Arsenal Football Club his entire career. He was sold. Has he been bitter? No. He could have been bitter. But what does he do? He spends his time, which he doesn't have to. He supports podcasters. He's on our show. He supports Evertonians. He goes to Evertonian events. You guys don't even know half the stuff that he does when it comes to like charitable stuff for both clubs. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, you can leave and be bitter. You can leave and you can have your say. It's your opinion. It's freedom of speech. That's the world that we live in. But Super Kev and Ian Wright, they're real. They love the club. Every club wants, yes, and he left. Thierry Henry left. He left. We got Henry. We're lucky that we had him. We are so lucky. He's a legend of all legends. My only point is, and please understand this, is that when you make comments and you're at an Amazon event and you know the world is watching and sound bites and clickbait are going to happen, and you make a comment like that about Arteta, who, by the way, if you're an avid listener of this show, or you tune in every now and again, or you've been with us from the beginning of the Arteta era, you know that I am not a fan. And I could have come on today and said, and ragged on Arteta and done all that. But my point is that you claim you love the club. Meanwhile, you're in the midst of being in a group to take it over. And that's fine too. Many fans want to see that. But this myth that we haven't spent money, this myth that we haven't put our hands in our pockets, what you guys want, what everyone wants is for Kroenke to do what Abramovich has done. Put his hand in his own pocket, not Arsenal's cash flow. This is who we are. This is what we have. So I get that part. I'm just saying that he has a responsibility as a legend to the club. Bob Wilson was on this show. And if you haven't seen the Bob Wilson episode, please go and watch it. It's an epic example of what a true Arsenal legend is all about. This guy was earning like 30 quid playing for the Gunners. And at sometimes without gloves. And he's gone on to do incredible things and he works with the club and his Willow Foundation, all that stuff. I'm not saying Thierry Henry doesn't do great things off the pitch as well. Geordie Armstrong, a legend of the club, his entire career dedicated to the Arsenal. I'm sure there are times where they weren't happy with the club, where they weren't happy with things that they were saying. My point is that if we really want, why can't we come together more? Why can't we? We're trying to establish a unity. We're trying to establish, it's us against them. Kev says that always. And I'm not here to bash Arteta every show. I'm not here to do, I saw that just clip in the chat. I am not a fan. I would love Antonio Conte to be manager of Arsenal. I would love a really cool super billionaire who does good things in the world to be the owner of our club. But when you say I turn the TV off when Xhaka's captain, I mean, what's that about? Really? Like I said, I'm sure Monaco fans turned the TV off when you were manager of Monaco. Did you turn the TV off when Mustafi captained the team every now and again? Did you turn the TV off when Mesut Ozil was captain? You're probably right, Riddy. But he can put all the pressure on that he wants. Xhaka isn't the best. But in this team, with what we have, Xhaka, offers something. For this team, this Arsenal team, this particular moment, the problem with Xhaka is his mistakes are so glaring and so big that we remember those versus the other things that he does. And I don't want to make this about Xhaka. We have the Tuesday-ish club, and it'll be back next week. David Hillier and Kevin Campbell talking about the club. You don't think there are times where they weren't happy? I've talked about Kevin, even David. The way they talk about the club, they love the club. Look, at times, even David has been critical of Arteta in terms of certain tactics and strategy and stuff like that. But this is what we've got. I wasn't fed by Arsenal. My job isn't to sit here and wax lyrical about Arteta. My job is to sit here and give an opinion about something, whether you agree or disagree with it. And I have not been an Arteta girl at all. So I don't have a stake in the club, though. Daniel Ek's not going to hire me as his director of communications. He's not going to hire me as his podcast host. I don't have a motive. I just love my club. Kevin loves his club. Ian Wright loves his club. David Hillier loves his club. Thierry Henry loves his club. But there's a twist to the tale now. I know I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. It's fine. I hope you can see what my point is and where I'm coming from. I can't believe we're 40 minutes in. Henri's comments are a bit like dissing your own family in public. Yes. Listen. I I was estranged from my own parents for a number of years because of who I love. I never talk smack about my mum and dad, ever. This show, we talk truth. We let it out there. I don't. I deserved a promotion at 20th Century Fox once. Everyone thought I did. I didn't get it. I never talk smack about 20th Century Fox. No. They gave me everything. So my point is, yes, he's right. But the point is that he could have encapsulated it in a different way. No, Mr. Waffles waffles. I'm not waffling. What's no truth? This is my truth. So we're going to criticize. So we're going to just support Arteta. No, that's not. You guys are missing the point. Some of you are missing the point. Again, I'm doing a show that not a lot of people are going to appreciate or agree with at all. Thierry Henry is the king of Arsenal. I know. I'm just saying he could have said, I know how hard it is to manage in football. I've been at Monaco. I've been in MLS, and it's hard even in those leagues. But I also know that X, Y, and Z. That's all. Yeah, everyone wants Henry. Of course, he's a legend. No, it's his opinion, absolutely. And this is my opinion. Henry's an Arsenal legend. We'll always love him, but he's also an attention seeker. Yes, I agree, Mo. He isn't it? He is. He's arrogant. I'm just going to put all your comments up now for the last 5 minutes of the show, okay? And look, agree or disagree, I do not endorse Arteta's management of Arsenal. You guys know where I stand on that. I do not want to repeat myself. There's no need for me to go over the same stuff all over again. But we've won a few games on the trot. We're moving in a certain direction. And I've always said, give him until the end of October, November. If we're in the same position, the dude's got to go. When I talk about my peers, I give it a caveat. I know how hard it is to... You guys think a film comes out and boom, it just happens. No, that's not how it happens. It took Dallas Buyers Club 20 years to be made, to be brought to the big screen. Blood, sweat, tears. It takes movies years to come. The new Bond film, highs and lows during the pandemic. They didn't even know if they were going to be able to release that film on the big screen. It is difficult. When you talk about those things, you give it context. I know how hard it is to promote a film, to make a film, to put it up on the big screen, to bring it to the masses. It's not easy. And all I'm saying is that Thierry should have said, I know how hard it is to manage, but I don't think that we're going in the right direction. Who said anything about the truth? Podcasts aren't about truth. They're about opinions. Radio is about opinions. And yes, Thierry said what most of us are thinking. I'm not gonna argue with that. Thanks, Martin. Let's read some more of your comments. That's not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is, and I've said, I agree with him, with what he said. But being a manager who has failed in the jobs that he's had, he should have given his comment some context. Why did he leave the club he loved so much, Fuzzy Wuzzy? Probably the same reason a lot of players left, to be honest with you. No, we're not going to support him naively. You can disagree about Xhaka as well. And yes, he's a winner and doesn't accept mediocrity. He's a mediocre manager and he's criticising another mediocre manager. How about them apples? We all love the club and we all have opinions. Absolutely. Henry was right about Xhaka. Yep, he's let us down over and over again. No, I don't want him to defend Arsenal at every opportunity. I want him to give some of his comments some context. Me the truth or Henry's talking the truth? Because I agree with what Henry said. I just don't agree with how he said it. That's all. That's fine. I love that you think I'm off the mark. And you know what? I'm guaranteeing that this will probably be the worst comments I've ever received for any show. And that's okay. The beauty of life is we don't have to agree all the time. Right? I adore Thierry in the Arsenal shirt. Off the pitch, he's arrogant, entitled. I'm not sure it has been, but yes. There's definitely an arrogance there. Listen, if you're at the top of anything in the world, if you're at the top of any sport, you have to have a level of arrogance. Sometimes it's a likable arrogance, and sometimes it's a polarizing arrogance, and sometimes it's just a very unlikable arrogance. Ronaldo has a polarizing arrogance. Thierry has kind of a likable arrogance. It's got that edge to it, you know? So yeah. Thank you, Bonkers. I am. Thank you, Don Juan. I'm not trying to cancel Thierry Henry. No one can ever cancel. Yes, he's right in his comments. Thank you. 100% Mo. I think I've gone too far back. Let's see. Maybe if you captain Arsenal, you may feel different. Yeah, probably. I was captain of my Rounders team. Took them to a county title. Don't think it's the same. Let's see. Kind of understand, but so many ex-players consistently criticize people at the club. Yeah, they do have every right. I just think that sometimes we're a dartboard, even with some of our ex-players. Like Merson sitting on a couch at Sky Sports News saying he could do Adu's job better. Let me do the job. Let me do the job. I mean, fine. It's just the way you talk about it sometimes. It's fine. It's all good. Let's see. What about when Wrighty tweeted Kroenke out, or does that not fit with the narrative of him loving the club? That's his opinion. Owners and manager are different. As a player, you understand the manager more, no? Owners are owners. There's nothing we can do about that. And you can have every opinion you want. I just think Wrighty hasn't been an owner. Wrighty hasn't been a manager. Thierry has been a manager. He knows how hard it is. I'm just saying, in a time where we have enough people throwing darts at the club, it would be nice if one of our biggest legends gave it some context. Maybe he did stir up the pot. Maybe he did want to do that. 307 of you in I'm going to break for a minute. Let me have some of my tea, which is cold now, okay? Got a few minutes left here. If you hate what I've said, that's fine. If you like what I've said, that's fine. But if you want to hit the like button, go ahead. I wish KC was here to just do a little bit of this. Thank you, Ekony. That means a lot to me. Yes. Okay. Where are we going with this? What do you mean, where are we going with this? One of the biggest legends of the club criticised the manager today on a huge platform, and it went viral. Every podcaster is talking about it. And I wanted to talk about it too. So, you know, if you don't want to hear it, just turn the TV off. Is it TV or computer or phone, something? I appreciate and respect everyone's opinions here. And whether you agree or disagree, I am cool with that. I'm cool with all of it. All right. Well, when you feel like you have to take a break, bring out Vinny Michael 100%. I just wanted to have an honest discussion, and I guess what I'm trying to. Thank you, Matty. I appreciate that. If you love Vinny, hit the like button. You probably don't love me tonight, but that's okay. I get it. Funny, Mr. Waffles. People are calling me Mrs. Waffles tonight, I think. Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. Tony Adams would give his right leg to have a place in the club and work with the club. He's opinionated. He said some things. Of course he has. But he's not part of a takeover bid. This is the point, you guys. Can you see the difference in he sat in the stands at a game with Daniel Ek. You know, he's part of a group. Before Patrick Vieira took the job at Crystal Palace, he was part of it too. But then Palace offered him a job. And guess what he did? He went and took the job at Palace. I'm not saying Patrick Vieira loves Arsenal too. Can we just look at this with an open mind and just an honest take on motive and opportunity versus reality? I wish I was smoking something. We did, Zamir, and we agreed and disagreed, and then you understood my point about where I was coming from with regards to Thierry Henry. I wish I was smoking something. I am. Thank you, Troy. Thanks, Gunakai. I'm not being soppy at all. How am I being soppy? I just give you guys love all the time. I'm not being soppy. Okay. Ah, love it. Kevin will like that. He'll love it. Yes, we can agree to disagree. Okay. That's it. That's all I've got for you tonight. Thank you so much. No hate. Listen, I love, that's brilliant. More legends must criticize Mikel so he can get the sack. Again, Mishane, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion, you know? I'm going to get all the flack in the world, Johnny boy. I hope people understand what I've said and how I've said it. I agree with what Thierry Henry said. He's not wrong in his opinion about how he played against Brighton and the team that we beat in like Norwich, who are terrible. I disagree with what he said about Tottenham because I don't care how we are terrible. Everyone lauds Tottenham. And now it's like we beat Tottenham 3-1 and it's like, oh, they're crap. Really? Come on. We absolutely annihilated them. We pulled their pants down. In like half an hour, the game was over. And now it's like, oh, well, you know, it's just they're crap and Kane's crap and Son was, come on. Can we please give this some context here? So I will always put my neck out there to give my opinion. Some people may agree with it. Some people may not. But I hope you understand what I've said, how I've said it, and why I've said it. I can't believe it's been 52 minutes in and we're done. Okay, so if we'd have lost that game, what would have people said about Arsenal? What would the narrative have been? And I'm just saying, like, this is why when I do a segment on TalkSport or Sky Sports, I give my honest opinion and my honest take, but it's also an opportunity sometimes to defend the club when everyone's throwing darts at it, right? I'm not immune to criticism when it comes to having criticized, but the club didn't give me and feed me for years and years and years. I've fed them. I've given my money to them. As a fan, I'm entitled to my opinion. And this is my opinion tonight. So whether you agree or disagree with it, let me know your thoughts. If you're listening on replay, let me know what you think. We might revisit this a little bit tomorrow with Kev. We've got the tactical squad tomorrow with Josh and Super Kev. We've got Kevin Says on Friday. And we're going to have some pre-recorded stuff go out too. Look out for a new episode of Talented Gooners. Look out for a premiere episode of The Player Profile with our good friend MK. So lots of really good stuff to come. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to put your comment up tonight. It was insane. You guys have made some phenomenal comments. I am going to go back and read these comments during the show with Kev, because I'd love to know what he thinks about this as well. Matty K, all of our regular listeners and our squaddies, thank you so much. Some more great guests waiting to come. Don't you worry about it. We'll be doing our thing here. Thank you, Rich, and everyone for joining me this evening. So, listen, we love Arsenal. We love Thierry Henry. We love everything about our club. We've been through a hard time. It's not easy being a Gooner. So, listen, take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. I always appreciate each and every one of you. And if I can find the exit trailer, I will. But until then, listen, I'll be back tomorrow. Squaddies, at ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.